Hey guys, so yesterday the Patriots played the Buffalo Bills down there in Buffalo, and it wasn't my favorite game ever. It was one of the division games are never fun. I don't ever enjoy those because they're just yucky games. Tom Brady threw for 250 yards and an interception that was not his fault, but we all saw what happened with that. The player was covering Gronk and he held him the entire way across the field and moved him out of the way and jumped the route, intercepted the ball, and then Gronk did a little dive onto him and gave him a concussion. And after the fact, he apologized about it, and they were asking him if the frustration of being, what did they call it? Of the rule book being different for him than for everybody else in the league got frustrating, and he said yes. And they were like, has it been building the last couple of games because defenders can just molest Gronk and get away with it, and if they did to Gronk what they did to any other player what they did to Gronk, then they would be flagged for it, but they allow it to happen to Gronk with no consequences. And he said that the frustration of the past 7 years had been building, and he finally kind of snapped yesterday, which was not right for him to do. I've never seen him lose his cool like that, but it is not fair that they allow defensive players to interfere with Gronk's ability to catch the ball, and it's fine, but they are always calling him for pass interference even though he doesn't extend his hands or anything. So it's bogus, but he had 9 catches for 147 yards yesterday, even though they were all over him. So could you imagine what it would be if they actually called a game fairly for him? He would be insane. But Tom Brady did not throw any touchdowns yesterday. It was just a yucky game. Steven Gostkowski had field goals. Rex Burkhead rushed for 2 touchdowns. I mean, the running game got going yesterday pretty good. I think Dion Lewis and Rex Burkhead both had the longest runs of their careers yesterday. Gronk had a ton of catches for a ton of yards. But it was just one of those. The defense did really well. They only allowed 3 points. They had their first defensive series not so good, but after that, Eric Lee, who was on the practice squad of the Bills, had a sack, an interception, a bunch of quarterback hits, so he did pretty well. I mean, he beat the other team with their practice squatter. That's a total Bill Belichick move. So hopefully, I mean, injuries are hurting them. We saw Kyle Van Noy played in the game, although he shouldn't have, but he did, so hopefully he'll be better next week. He was limping, but we fly off to Miami to play the Dolphins Monday Night Football, so hopefully that's not a division-y game where everybody gets hurt like it was the last time we saw them last week. But go Pats!